Man, happy Monday, Damon. How are you, dude? What's happening, man?
I'm doing great. It's turning into summertime.
Man, it is gorgeous outside.
Woo!
Isn't it just wonderful? My,
Yeah,
how was your weekend? Did you rest up for this,
I rested up really hard last night.
I said, dude, go to bed early because we've got a
Mhm.
big guest today,
Check
right?
me
This is a
yesterday.
really, really big show. I'm doing my worst Ed Sullivan impression. All right, let's dive in. So,
It's a really, really big show.
this is an honor. This is a privilege. I'm introducing my dear friend Stacey Curry from IMEC. Stacey, happy Monday. How are you?
Oh, I am wonderful. And thank you to both of you for having me on. It is such a pleasure and an honor.
Oh, the honors all are, Stacey. This has been a long time coming. You're a dear friend. I had the honor and privilege of, like with COVID time, you never said this before COVID, but we've met in person at a couple of different conferences. I've had the privilege of sitting in the audience for one of your workshops, and we are going to dive into that. Hands down, one of the best workshops I've ever attended, and I'm not just saying it because you're sitting here. All right, let's dive in, Stacey Curry. I have one. I'm going to open up with a question, and you might not be aware of this one, Damon. She might not be ready.
Okay, I'm ready. Bring it on.
Hang on, Stacey. Here we go. You ready?
Yes.
Stacey, when you were a little girl growing up,
Ooh.
who was your hero? Who was your hero, little girl?
All right. So as cliche as this may sound, I knew at a very, very young age that I was going to teach in some capacity.
Wow.
And I honestly, to this day, I'm gonna drop her name. I don't know where she is today, but my English teacher, Beata Mulvaney, was a rock star. And to this day, she has influenced my style, my creativity, my mindset, because she was so caring and so different and creative. And I will always remember that she was the one that the quiet students, she pulled them out.
Oh, really?
She pulled them out. And
Nice.
and I think that's a gift.
Yeah.
And I will always remember her to this day. I'll never forget her. I will always remember her, and I will always honor her. And I mean, we weren't even really that close, and I don't even think she even knows that I thought so highly of her. But I think she she brought out something in me that has stayed with me to this day. So B. Mulvaney, wherever you are, I so am in awe of you, and I am so grateful for just the experience that you have provided. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. What a beautiful tribute that was.
Yeah.
Stacey Curry. So I think what you might want to consider is like try to find her on social somewhere. What a beautiful tribute. And just a couple of things that I want to cover that you just shared there. Number one is like believing in somebody, right? Just having that deep belief and like you said, like that was her gift. Her gift was actually seeing the gift in others. And like in going after the quiet kids. I absolutely love that. That's phenomenal. And what a profound, I'm married to a school teacher, so my wife was going to love this one when I share this one with her. But what a great, you never know the impact that you're having on others.
Yeah, definitely. And I don't think she ever knew. I don't think I ever had an opportunity to share with her, but yeah, her creativity and just her spirit. I don't know. I think maybe now at the age that I am in the life phase that I'm in, I pay homage to it pretty much every time I walk into a client and I'm doing some kind of consulting or training or some kind of development opportunity. I just almost feel like I'm channeling a little bit of her spirit and every other educator or person that I've crossed their paths with that has helped me to develop. Right? I kind of channel that legacy. At least I hope I do.
Man, all right, Damon, you getting chills already or what?
What
a way to kick off this program, man. Are you kidding me? So a couple things here, Stacey, that, man, what we were saying before, we might not talk about our topic because this is so good right here. All right. Mentoring, right? How the impact, again, like, hey, today's Monday, right? But you don't know the impact on that Monday that you're having on others. Number one. Number two, boy, seek that mentor. I'm at my age, I'm constantly looking for mentors, younger, teenage, 20 somethings, how to make me better. Iron sharpens iron. So gosh, Stacey, I couldn't love that more. And how you're channeling her, that was just a few years ago, right? When you were in high school, but
just a few,
right? But just, over that course of time, you're still channeling her. Again, what a beautiful tribute to a teacher. So thank you for sharing that. That was a beautiful story.
Thank you for asking, and you bet.
All right, well, let's go here. And what was her name? Mulvaney? Is that her last name?
Yeah. I don't know if she wants to get a shout out, right? She might want to be under the radar, but her name was B. Mulvaney.
Mulvaney. Mulvaney. Okay. All right. What you know what, Damon, I don't know about you. I'm sure she would be thrilled and honored. Yeah. And I connected with somebody that I haven't seen in a super long time over the weekend, and we were just chit-chatting. And this person had a really profound impact on me like 20 years ago. Yeah. And I'm like, you know what? I need to tell you what an impact you had on me, and boy, we had this little gush fest, and I just think it's just so tell people of the impact that they're having on you. So Stacey, thank you for sharing that story. That just made my day. Okay, all right, let's go next. You are with IMEC, which is just a wonderful, incredible organization that helps Illinois manufacturers. We're going to take a deep dive into just how amazing the team at IMEC is. Can you share, you you have an English teacher, had a big, profound impact on you. What inspired you to bring your talents, your skills, your superpowers into the world of manufacturing?
So here's my story. I am a laborer's daughter. And my father worked for a manufacturer for 30 plus years.
Wow.
Nice.
And I'm going to share something a little tender if I can. Please. Right? So just to have a moment of honesty, but not get too deep into it. How do I say this? So I, through a daughter's eyes, witnessed a little bit of the underbelly of manufacturing.
Yeah.
This particular manufacturer in a community real close to where I live now, and it was a significant manufacturer, experienced a lawsuit.
Oh.
And it resulted, so I don't mean to get heavy on you for a moment,
that's fine.
but I witnessed what happened to my father, and I only know a little bit of it, and all of the people that he worked with, and that particular lawsuit resulted in the closing of that manufacturer, which greatly impacted that community. And I had been following IMEC for, I would say, probably a year and a half, just through social media. And I don't know, there was just something in there, you two, I even went to their website and just studied their website, their mission, their core values, meet their team, right? Saw all of the blogs, all of the things that they were connected with. And I could visualize myself with them. And I think the experience that I witnessed with my family and how it impacted not only my family, but that community that I was a part of. I don't know. I just had a moment where I'm like, it's time. Yeah. It's time. And I'm in a different life phase, right? And so when I came to IMEC, I thought, this is it. This is how I want to spend the next tenure of my career. And it's not even a career, it's like my life extension. This is what I want to do because I want to help. I mean, you two, I'm preaching to the choir. Manufacturers are awesome. I mean, they are absolutely incredible. They truly, I mean, when you go in there and you hear their stories and you hear how they got to where they are today and their legacy, and some of them have a long legacy and some of them are just starting up, but the way that they got there is so inspiring. It is so, they are, I mean, they're our infrastructure. Right. And you know, talk about the heroes. If I were to talk about the heroes that I've met today, I have met some incredible people in manufacturing that are lifting up our economies, that are making things happen, that logistically they're making it happen. And I'm just in awe. And every time I walk into one of our clients, I just feel incredibly humbled. Like, how did I get here? Why am I am so honored to be here, right? And so I don't even know what the question was, but what drove me to manufacturing was just, I think it's to pay homage, and it's an extension of my family and my father's efforts and everything that he went through. I want in my own very, very, very small way, to try and make a difference with them, not for them, but with them, right? And to take them into that next gen, because the next gen workforce is showing up in a whole different way. And I'd really like to help be kind of a conduit or a bridge to that. Yeah. So that's why I'm in manufacturing, and I'm not going back. There's no going back. I'm here. I'm committed.
All right, Damon, dude, you ready to run through a wall or what? This
no
is
doubt.
Amazing. Okay.
Yeah.
That wasn't even a drop the mic. That was a moment. We're going to take a moment of silence right there and just kind of like just savor multiple things that you just shared right there that are so powerful. Again, happy Monday to everybody joining us. Drop your name. Let us know where you're coming from in the chat box. Feel free. We have a manufacturing guru here. Drop questions in the chat box. Love to know where you're coming from. Connect with Stacey Curry on LinkedIn. You'll be grateful that you did. Stacey, so many things to unpack right there. This is a calling. Like, this is a cause, right? Damon, we talk about the saga, like, you know, the passion that, and Damon, I'm going to share a few things that Stacey, I do a little digging in on you. We're going to do a little, you know, some more digging into Stacey here, but, you know, a couple of things that you talked about. You knew what you wanted to do. And, you know, Damon, when you talk to manufacturers with their website, how important it is, you dug in to meet the team. You dug into like what you knew all sorts of research and information. So for manufacturers out there that on their website, you know, maybe they're not going all in, you know, hey, you know, marketing's not my thing. You know, we're at full capacity. I don't need new customers. I need clients. Well, guess what? This is a perfect textbook example of how Stacey checked out IMEC and how your ideal employee doesn't need to be that ideal customer, could be checking you out as well. So, all right, Stacey,
so can I say something to that, please? Because, you know, I think what you said is really important. And that is one of the things that I've noticed with some clients, right? With some manufacturing clients. Tell your story. Be proud of that story. Put it out there, right? And I mean, yes, there's the legacy. It's the, you know, a mom and pop, and we grew this, and where are you going? Right. That's what that next gen workforce wants to be a part of, is I want to be a part of your future. So where are you going? And tell that story. And I think that sometimes is a missed opportunity, right? Like, to get them excited about contributing to something that's so much bigger than themselves. And I think sometimes because our manufacturers, because you know that we really partner with that small to mid-size, and they're very humble people. And it's like, hey, shout it from the rooftops. Get that next gen workforce excited to be a part of manufacturing again, right? And that it's for the betterment of the greater good when you come to work for us. That's a story that I think our manufacturers can kind of level up on, like get good about sharing your story, because that they're amazing stories out there, right?
Yeah.
And when you ask them, oh my gosh, they love to tell you about it. They want you to understand kind of the grit and
Yep.
the blood, sweat, and tears that it took to build that up. And when you realize that, you want to be a part of that, right? It inspires you to continue that legacy. And I do think that's an opportunity for manufacturers to get a little bit more, I don't know, intentional about. And that's all I'll say to that.
Oh, you definitely don't need to stop, my friend.
That's awesome. We got some comments in here.
Yeah. Hey, we've got Elaine Allen saying, love the subject of discussion. We've got Benjamin, hello from New York. And we've got Matt's in here from West Salem Machinery. Happy Monday.
I just got to say, West Salem Machinery, they make like these great big grinders where you can take like the biggest tree stump you've ever seen that you got to pick up with a big excavator and drop it right in and just grinds it up. Oh, it's nuts.
Nice.
They're down in Portland, I believe.
And do you mind if I pop in too? Because Damon, you bring up something really amazing, right? So for every client that we walk into, isn't it such a beautiful thing when you're out in the community and you're like, I know who makes that awning.
Yep.
I know, like you'll sit down and you'll be like, I know who makes that, whatever that is.
Yeah.
Like you've had a brush with greatness, and it could be, a napkin holder, but you know who makes that. It could be like even your big machinery, and you're like, I've had a brush with greatness. I know who makes that.
Yeah.
Or you've seen the hand stitching on an awning, and you're like, no, you don't understand. That was hand stitched. I mean, those are the moments that I have that I'm like, holy cow, everything that we walk around, it's like, don't take that for granted, that somebody's hands touched that and made that. So our lives could be easier, more efficient and effective. And that's, I think, that's the beauty that I get out of it. And the sense of awe that I get out of partnering with each and every one of our clients all over.
Yes, because they're around the corner from you. You don't even know what's going on. This is not a building, probably. Stuff's coming in and out. People go to work there. You don't even know what's happening. And they could be building the next whatever. Yeah. Or they're producing a gazillion of these things that are in every, wherever. It's so cool. Oh, Matthew says they're going to be showing some more stumps getting chewed up soon. Whoa.
Absolutely love it. And
nice.
Man, I don't know how many drop the mics we've had already. Stacey Curry, man, I knew this was going to be good. Brush with greatness. Are you kidding me? Yeah. Brush with greatness, and it could be a napkin holder. That might be one of the best lines of all time on this show, right there, Damon. So, Damon, all right. Before we dig deeper, Stacey, I'm eager for you to tee up. What is the MEP? So you're with folks are seeing that. Hey, you're with IMEC. We're like, hey, what is this acronym? Please share with folks what is the MEP, Manufacturing Extension Partnership, and then we're going to take a deep dive into IMEC. What is IMEC?
Sure. And I'll keep it a little high level. So as most of your listeners who have joined you before or are joining you in the future, what they know about manufacturing is the MEP is the Manufacturing Extension Partnership. And the beautiful thing that they do is they provide funding for resources or centers like IMEC, and they're all over the United States. There's one in every state. And to me, they are the good stewards of the funding. And all of the MEP centers like IMEC receive that funding, so then we can really be a good steward of that funding to provide specifically what our small to mid-sized manufacturers truly need to help them continue to be progressive, to be innovative, to get the workforce that they need, to move them into automation the way that we need to have a presence in automation. And so that extension partnership, I think, is a beautiful, beautiful partnership for people like us, so we can do good for the manufacturing clients with them.
Well, love it. Okay, so that's the MEP. That's a national, federal program, if you
Yes,
will.
it is.
So any of our friends out there, Google or check out MEP, Manufacturing Extension Partnership. So let's dive into IMEC. You are with the MEP in the great state of Illinois. Please share with folks, how does IMEC make the world a better place?
So IMEC stands for the Illinois Manufacturing Excellence Center. And I absolutely do believe that we are a center of excellence. I have no doubt about it. And so we are, a staff of, we're growing very fast. I mean, just even in the short time that I've been with IMEC, oh, wow. I mean, I think we've grown by a third, right? And we're always bringing on new talent and new resources. And so we have experts in the state of Illinois that have partnered with IMEC that provide solutions on, lean, automation, cybersecurity, safety and quality. We also have the supply chain. As you know, the supply chain is huge for all of our manufacturing clients and for all of the MEP centers. That is a big, big focus right now. And we also, like yourselves, we have vetted partners that bring in their areas of expertise and knowledge to be shared with our clients. And so we really focus in, and this is kind of my kind of where I slide into, is the workforce piece of it, right? So we have experts in workforce that are engagement, right? So we help with engagement survey, we help with culture, right? Because what we're seeing right now with that new, I call it the next gen workforce coming in, we're coming in a little different. We have different values and we have different, I don't know, what does leadership mean to them? And they're coming to the workforce with a whole different mindset of collaboration and all of that. And we're helping them with that mindset of how do we partner with this next gen workforce coming in? How do we be effective? How do we capitalize on what they know and where they want to go? And just the whole retention issue and all of that with the workforce. So IMEC is just this really cool resource of this phenomenal talent and knowledge that we partner with our manufacturers on to help them get to where they want to go. And we also help them to see the possibilities of, hey, you want to go here? Hey, have you thought about this? And it opens their eyes to what could be, right? And so we partner with them along the way. And it's not just that sage on the stage, but I really do see IMEC professionals really being that guide that walks with them along the side, right? All the way through the processes to help them get to where they want to go. And when we depart from that client, they feel secure that they can integrate that, whatever their learnings are, whatever they got through the partnership, that they can begin to integrate that immediately into their culture and their own way of doing and being. And I think that's really important. It's not just we show up and then we pull up stakes and leave them to their own devices. We're there to help guide them so they truly are successful. I think that's really beautiful.
Yeah, it is absolutely awesome. Let's get in. And when it comes to IMEC, I'm always reluctant to do this for fear of leaving somebody out. But Stacey, you truly have an all-star team. I'm going to give a few shout outs. Your fearless leader, Dave Belay.
Absolutely.
My dear friend, Jacqueline. I've got Melissa Bassa, Melissa Zerbel, Ray Zagano's been a multiple friend on the show here. Christy, Eric, Jordan, Cameron, Doug, Dave, John Azara. I've got Cassie, Noah, Paula, Amy. You've got a couple of Marys, Megan, Shannon. Amanda. So anybody out there that's
the crew.
I know. I'm sure you've got I think 50 strong. So I'm sure I left out.
Yeah. 100%.
But those were the few that and so the great thing is when somebody comes to you, it's always that risk of hey, try to be everything to everybody. But we always kid around the MEP network, IMEC. We have a guy, right, or a gal. So when that manufacturer comes to you, they have a challenge, they have a frustration, they have something that's going on. You have just such there's 1,300 MEP networks nationwide, individuals, 1,300 individuals, Plus you have third-party providers. So can you just talk a little bit about when you engage with that manufacturer, when IMEC engages with that manufacturer, how you guys just really dig into that deep bench and how you're able to tackle that problem?
Yeah, you gave a shout out to a lot of amazing people with it. And you two are our vetted partners, both Kurt and Damon. You guys are right there. You're honorary IMECers, right?
That's right.
So let's give a shout out to the regional managers, right? Because we do have a crew of regional managers who really are the entry in, like your Rays, right? And that go in and just sit with them. I think that's the most important thing to do, is just sit with them and gain their story. What are their pain points? What are the successes that they're having, they're experiencing, that they can help them to, capitalize on, because it's not all about their pain points. Right. But for the most part, there's some sticky areas where they are seeking our help, right? They're seeking our guidance. And I think the regional manager having that relationship and building that trust, that's instrumental, because if you don't have the trust, then none of us are going to get in there, right? And that takes time. I mean, you think about a Ray that comes in and has just this vast array of manufacturing knowledge, right? He can easily walk in there and relate to them, and that's what they want. Our clients want. They want us to be able to understand them and their needs, right? And so through that relationship and through that building of trust that the regional managers are so sophisticated at doing, I think it really helps that client or our clients to, manufacturers, we got to prove ourselves a little bit, right? I mean, I think that's very true. They want to know that we get them and that we understand them, right? And so when we identify some pain points, I think the regional managers are very good at deep dive assessments. It's not just, you have an issue or a situation or a problem with this. Oh, well, we can help you. No. They do a better job at really getting into the root cause analysis. So then they can determine who would be the best fit. And then they just invite us to come in and have that continued conversation, because collectively we may discover something completely different, right?
Yep.
And so those regional managers are instrumental at building that relationship and doing that deep dive assessment linked to their strategies, linked to their mission, their core values, and where they want to go. That to me is foundational.
Right. Absolutely.
Well, and like you say too, Stacey, you can't, manufacturers, let's face it, most manufacturers are technical. They knew how to do something. They knew how to bend metal. They knew how to CNC machine. They knew this product, and they're going to make a better product. They know these things, right? The founders of those companies and a lot of the people in them. And, that is really the way into their know, like, and trust factor, is like your regional managers. They go out and they talk the talk. They understand. They've been in a lot of these facilities. They understand that the lingo. They've seen enough to be able to go, wow, that looks like quite and whatever that is. And then that manufacturer goes, well, this is not their first time at this. And I can begin to understand that they may have the experience that can actually help us.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is that first initial thing, because you talked about it earlier. Manufacturers, the trials and tribulations they go to build these companies. When you think about the capital investments that are needed, the workforce, the supply chain, the regulation, you just keep going on top of it, right? They've gone through a lot of challenges and had to go through this. They don't need someone beside them that's just going to create more challenges. They need someone that's going to actually help them, that knows how to use a shovel, if that's what they need, or use a hammer, or the right resources. Because it is a challenging business. That's just the way it is.
And one of the things that you bring up that I think is really interesting, and maybe you and some of your listeners have heard of this. This is gaining some popularity in the leadership and kind of managerial kind of fields, right? Is VUCA. And we are, and VUCA stands for, we are in the midst of volatility right now. And that's what the V stands for. So it's volatility, unknown, complexity, and ambiguous times. And VUCA comes from, and I don't claim to be very brilliant about this or even remotely intelligent, but I believe it has its roots in military. It's a military term, and I think it's a fairly recent military term. But I think our manufacturers are feeling and are experiencing some volatility. We are in unknown times. I mean, the workforce is not banging on the manufacturing door right now, right? And they're struggling to figure out how to recruit. So it's unknown. Supply chain, unknown. Global events, unknown, right? There is all kinds of complexity with automation, generative AI, coming at them really, really fast. And a lot of ambiguity on, I'm not sure what decisions that I need to make strategically that is going to help us grow or get to where we want to go. And I think that's what IMEC brings. It is that, remember when I said guide along the side, how can we guide our manufacturers in this VUCA time, right? So they don't feel overwhelmed, because right now they're getting it from all corners. And it's a lot to think of, but when you have that partner that can help you kind of just think it through and just pace down so it doesn't feel so overwhelming for them. I think that's really important right now. And just to even let them know, yeah, we're all experiencing this. You're not on an island by yourself. Let us help you and guide you through this. I'm seeing it a lot with our clients right now.
Wow. I love that. And Damon, we got a couple of comments. Again, I think we're over the top of the hour here. So Ab gives a thumbs up. We got our dear friend Timothy coming to us from across the pond. Happy Monday, my friend.
Happening, man?
So he's coming to us from Amsterdam, Stacey. So combination things that I want to pack, and then we're going to slide into, we're going to dive into Stacey's superpowers here, Damon.
Yep.
Ready for this? So manufacturers need that guide, need that Sherpa. And the great thing with the MEPs is that you're working with other manufacturers. So when you go to that manufacturer, hey, we've got dozens, hundreds of other clients. I know a program, that Grow Your Future program you did during COVID, that was 127 manufacturers that you absolutely crushed it with, and just consistently, a lot of things on a scoring record that you guys, how you deliver your impact, and you guys are just crushing it. So the nice thing is, it's not like you're dealing with a handful, or you've got, a few customers said that they like this. It's you're dealing with hundreds and hundreds across the state of Illinois. And so, you're bringing in best practices, you're bringing top talent. Speaking of top talent, Damon, now Stacey's very modest. Stacey, you can plug your ears if you want to. Damon, I'm going to share a few things that people say about Stacey Curry. Are you ready for this?
All right.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Anyone who is lucky enough to have Stacey as a coach will definitely benefit. Man, that's really nice. Yeah. Challenges you to take action and improve. High energy, high enthusiasm. Stacey, I love this. This is my favorite. Stacey is a talented and powerful and irreplaceable coach. Her spirit is contagious. The impact of her clairvoyance, priceless. So these are things these are comments that have been said about you.
Where'd you get that information from?
I called your mom, and she gave me a whole list. So these are comments that have been made about you, Stacey. And again, we're going to dig into a workshop that I attended of yours in 1 minute. But before we go there, I want to take a deep. We've talked a lot about the MEP. We've talked about IMEC. And if you're just joining us, boy, I encourage you to go back when you first started sharing your passion, your enthusiasm for manufacturing. Stacey, let's dive into maybe what you're doing this week, today, projects, like how you're helping manufacturers. How do you bring your superpowers? I want to dive into what are you doing specifically to help your clients?
Okay, well, Damon, this is where I think you could probably pipe in as well, right? And so one of the things that I think, so what I'm doing, are you talking about me personally, or what are we at IMEC doing?
I'm talking about my friend Stacey Curry.
So one of the things that I think is really I'm discovering is a missed strategic opportunity, and that is talent succession planning. So that has been actually my week for the past couple of weeks, right? And so Damon, I know that you're in that space too, but it's an often overlooked strategy that I think our small to mid-sized manufacturers can really begin to embrace, because it's really understanding, okay, first of all, what's the depth of their talent within their organization, right? And what are they doing? We're spending a lot of time on recruitment. We got to get them in. We got to get the workforce in. And I'm raising my hand to say, okay, great, but what about this phenomenal potential that you have had there for years? What are you doing for them? Yeah. What are you doing to keep them? What are you doing to keep their hearts inspired, right? Invest in them, because they've been with you on this journey. So invest in them. And so we've been doing a lot of high potential identification and discussions about new ways beyond technical apprenticeships, on how beyond that, right? So technical apprenticeships and beyond, right? How can you develop your next gen leaders? And that takes a new mindset.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So David, what's been your experience? Please share.
It's something that the MEPs are really good at too. I mean, I was just in a manufacturer last week that the local Impact Washington was working with out here. And I was really impressed at their leadership team. You know, the owner is a bit older than I am, but you look at the entire leadership team, and I don't think there was one that might have been over 45. That's really something to see in manufacturing, because usually it's the opposite. Yeah. You know, we'll talk to somebody and they go, oh yeah, you know, I started a business and my friend, whoever here, they've been with me forever. They're going to stay with the business. And you look at that friend that's got all the technical knowledge in the business, and they're 65 plus, and they're thinking, you know, in our work, we're talking about exit succession planning for that owner. They don't realize how much of a liability that is, because their key people don't have other people that are learning what they need to do, growing that knowledge base to be able to take it to the, you know, beyond them. Yeah. And it's huge. It is
big. You know, I'd like to give a shout out to, I believe her name is Lise Stewart. It might be Lisa Stewart, but I think it's Lise Stewart. She's with the MEP. She's with the MEP as well. And I, a couple of weeks ago, heard one of her webinars, and she was doing talent succession. And I think she is an expert in that field. And, you know, she too was echoing, hey, it's not just to come in and do it. It is a strategic planning process. Yeah. And I really appreciated her webinar. And I was really happy to hear the MEP take on that perspective of talent succession. And it has many tentacles. And what I have discovered with clients is they're all at different places with talent succession, and meet them where they are. So you can help, you know, them to see, okay, so if you want to start here, let's build on that. And then you can take it to the next level, right? Because it has many tentacles.
Yes. Certainly does.
High potential identification. Yeah. Stacey, we might need to have to do a workshop for the wives, Damon. Like maybe they could see some high potential in us one of these days. Just kidding. I'm just no, it's not gonna happen, Damon.
They haven't seen it now.
After 26 years, I was hoping, but all right. I couldn't love this more, this high potential. Stacey, let's dive in here. And again, guys, we're here with Stacey Curry, technical specialist from IMEC, doing amazing, incredible work with manufacturers. You can just feel her enthusiasm just pouring right through your computer. Stacey, I'm going to dive into, I had the honor and privilege. I've been to multiple, you're an avid speaker at workshops. You do presentations, webinars, all sorts of fun things. I had the honor and privilege. So I'm going to dig into a couple of things. First off, what inspires you? You gave a shout out to your teacher when we kicked things off. What really lights your fire to do these workshops and presentations? And then I'm going to dive into the one that I attended.
Yeah. Okay. So what inspires me? So as a coach, I will say what inspires me the most and what really gives me the reason to wake up in the morning and to keep on doing what I'm doing are all of the coaching clients that I have had the opportunity to share time and space with.
Right.
And I will tell you that I've had a lot of great opportunities to coach some manufacturing leaders, right, within the time that I have been with IMEC. And again, not to get too deep, but you will recognize this.
Yeah.
We're all going through something. Yeah. We're all going through something. And the mere fact that they have entrusted me to share their stories with and to hear the hope and aspirations that they have in terms of their commitments to manufacturing, please, those are the heroes. Those are the people that provide me the inspiration. They're the ones, and we've talked about this before, and the event that you attended 2 years ago. It's about taking risk. It's about putting yourself out there and just we got to experiment without the fear of failure. And I mean, that's what they're doing with me. They're taking a huge risk by sharing their stories and trusting me to be that guide for them. That's amazing. Yeah. And that's the reason why I'm terrified right now in this moment. This is my first podcast and I am shaking in my boots. But every time we do that, it expands our what we thought were once limitations, and it expands it, like, ooh, I did it. And now I can do more. And I think that that's the inspiration I get from the coaching clients and the manufacturing clients that I've had an opportunity to partner with. People like you and people like my peers and colleagues. Phenomenal. That's why I do it.
Well, I absolutely love this. And, the title of the show today, innovate, adapt, grow, and go. I just love this. Okay. Here's what I've been looking forward to for 2 years. Okay. So I had the honor and privilege. You and I met in person. I'm like, hey, Stacey, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I'm going to say, I think Melissa Zerbel might've introduced us. And so, a teammate of yours, and I was thrilled to meet you. And I'm like, I saw that you're on a docket. There's all sorts of great workshops, and it's always hard to decide which one do you attend. And I'm like, well, I want to check out Stacey's. I walked in, and hey, we've got so Timothy saying hello from Amsterdam, and he says, hey, without the fear of failure. Yep. Well said, Stacey. And drop the mic right there. Nice. Stacey, you did something, if you can remember, I know you've done a lot of workshops. So if you remember the one that I attended, you came in and disrupted the whole room. Right? Do you remember? You know what exactly?
Yes, I do.
I thought it was absolutely brilliant. I loved it. Before we went live, I told Dave, I've literally, if I say hundreds, I'm probably exaggerating. I've been to dozens upon dozens upon dozens and dozens of workshops. It's a passion of mine. Maybe it is hundreds. You are definitely in the top 3 top. And I saw Sergey Brin speak live. How's that?
Oh my!
I saw before, back in 2005 or whatever. So anyway, so you are hands down one of the top 3 workshops I've attended. Can you please share kind of what went on in that workshop and what your attention was? And it had a huge impact on me.
Sure. Okay. So if I remember correctly, the topic was team coaching. Right. And so just to give your audience a context, I mean, this conference was attended by people affiliated with the MEP network, right? So it was our peers, right? Is that safe to say? And our partners within this space. And one of the things, Kurt, that I think is so very important when you're doing any kind of facilitation, consulting, training, development, whatever it is with adults, get them involved. Because if I am just going to be a talking head and say, okay, Damon and Kurt, here are the top 3 things that you need to do to go out and be successful, the likelihood of you adopting that is pretty low, right? But if we can get you involved, right? If you can become a participant in the actual experience, your experience that you're having, and you're coming up with the best choice points for you to take back, the likelihood of you adopting those and integrating those is way higher, way higher. And the whole philosophy of team coaching is, again, I'm not that sage on the stage. You are. You sitting in this room are, right? And that was the great disruption. I mean, I think what there was like 100+ people there, and we're like, move, get rid of your chairs. And it was all in conference style, but they did it. They found a way. And they found a way to share in the experience, right? And to be engaged in the conversation. That to me is the epitome of team coaching. Give people a voice. Let them lead from the front line. Let them decide what's best for them within, as long as it's aligned to the strategies and the progression and right, all of that. Right. But that to me is where the real voice is, not my voice, their voice.
Yeah.
And that's what we did. We turned it around and gave them the opportunity to guide that session. And the risk was, I had no idea where it was going to go. I had no idea. But you have to trust the process.
Yeah.
And wherever they took it as a facilitator in team coaching, you have to navigate that. You have to go to what's important to them, not what you think is important. That's the big distinction, I think, between what we did and traditional training, right?
Yeah, it was absolutely a stroke of genius, Damon. So picture a huge, like you said, probably 100 people, huge conference room, and it was long. Like the room went long. Okay,
it was long.
So there's 2 tables, or however many tables. So it's like 2 sections, and probably like I don't know, 8-10 people on each side, chairs, or I don't know, Stacey, something like that.
Yeah.
And then like probably however many rows deep. So it was in my recollection, it was the last session or like end of the day. And, a lot of people are just, oh, I'm going to go in there, if I check my phone, check my email, do whatever you do at a conference, right? And Stacey comes in. And again, I just met her, right? She was like, all right, guys, grab your chairs. And like, you're going to do this. Like, so everybody had to face each other. And I'm not doing it justice, but we had to pick up our chairs, turn, and like now face each other. There's like 100 of us. And she created like this giant oval. And like, you're not checking your phone, you're not checking email, like you were engaged. It was a total risk. It was total disruption. And I loved every second of it. I'm talking with people. We're all cramped together. Like people are right across me. We're engaging. It was, all right, you guys go in sections or, groups. And now you're going to do this work together. And Stacey, I applaud you. I commend you. And just, Damon and I do a lot of workshops, and how your English teacher is always in your mind. Yeah. I'm always thinking, I'm like, am I getting people engaged the way Stacey did? So I just really admire how you had the courage, you had the wherewithal and the guts to like really disrupt a lot of people who are, like our age-ish, and very conservative as far as like work-wise, not, and I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was just, and it was a very profound, you really dug deep into these topics. You got people engaging, talking, and
thank you very much. One of the things I think for any of you who are learning and development or training or whatever you're doing, it actually is beyond learning and development. I really do believe, and I didn't always believe this, but now I'm here in this space. You must demonstrate and embrace what you're asking your participants to do. And that particular session was a demonstration, and they did it. So I demonstrated exactly what I wanted them to do, and they did it. And they didn't always do exactly what I wanted to do. I think there was one question that really took it off, and it ended up being kind of a juicy debate, right? But you got to go with that. You can't, you have to be aligned. to whatever topic you are presenting. You must be aligned to that. And I think they noticed that. I mean, I did get a couple of comments like, wow, that was really different. And I'm like, well, that was really different, or wow, that was really different. Right.
Yeah,
And so, and it was more the latter. Right.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I think for adults, it's so very important for us to be engaged so we can make our own decisions. The likelihood of us integrating that is so powerful. And then to affirm where they're going and to support where they're going, right? Because again, we're in VUCA times and there's a lot coming at us. And we've got to help to build up that I don't know, confidence that they got it and that they're capable, right?
Yeah, right.
Yep. I think in these times like this, when it is VUCA, unknown, volatile, all these things that are happening right now, what I like to do with people when I'm talking to leaders is, listen, this is a challenge today. There's no doubt there's a challenge in front of you. Look back at the plethora of challenges you got over to get here.
Yes.
This is another one, just like the last one. You thought this is the end. It's not the end. You have to keep your mind open. Be grateful that you're here, that you're able to have these challenges in front of you. First of all, you're able to do it, because that's a huge mindset shift that we got to do this thing, but it's a real opportunity to be able to solve some of these challenges that these leaders have. And they just got to look over their shoulder a little bit more and go, and not at bad, not at anything like that.
Oh, no.
Like, all this stuff that I've overcome to get here, this is just another thing.
Yeah.
That's all it is. And I'm going to get through it and then go off and do it. Because we make these things up in our heads so much, but it's awesome you say that and getting people involved in it, because that's the only way to do it. They got to be involved in what you're doing.
And Damon, you said something that's so powerful, and I do believe this because I'm living it. And Kurt, you're a phenomenal example of this. Kurt, you believe the world is out to do you good. You do. And Damon, I don't know you enough, but I'm going to get to know you. It's all about your mindset.
Yep.
It's about the mindset, right? And that it's because things feel so complex. You're so right. Hey, remember when you achieved and you overcame? Boom, we can use that same, but it might mean that we might need to shift a little bit. We might need to experiment. And that whole session 2 years ago was about experimentation. And every time I partner with a client, it's not continuous improvement. It's continuous experimentation, right? That's it. And to be okay with that. To be okay with, well, we might fail. Well, yeah, great. We'll be able to learn something beautiful from it, as long as we have the right mindset to be reflective and to learn. Hey, we learned this. Now we know. Now we're stronger, right?
Timothy says, I'm happy I came in. Great advice, Stacey Curry. Drop the mic. Are you kidding me?
I wrote that one down.
It's continuous experimentation.
Be okay with continuous experimentation.
It's not continuous improvement. It's all right. Stacey, we could keep you here all day. I'll tell you, you are truly a gift. This was just, I had such high expectations, and of course, why wouldn't you? You far exceeded them. Two last things for you. Number one, first off, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I cannot express what this was. Just a great coaching session for me and Damon. All right, Stacey, parting words of wisdom, thoughts, inspiration that you'd like to leave our wonderful attendees with as we go off into the Wild West here.
Yeah, to all your listeners that are here today, future and past, right? Keep on doing your good work, right? Keep on at it. And I know that some days it feels kind of tough. I mean, sometimes our clients can really challenge us, right? They can challenge our mindset, right? Do it anyway. Do it anyway. Like, do good work for the betterment of the greater good, because we have got to support our manufacturers. We have to. We are the backbone of our society, of our communities, of our world. I am so blessed to be a part of this, to be here today with both of you. Just keep going, keep doing good work, and believe in what you do.
Man.
Yeah, do it. Put that in your pocket.
Good work.
And believe that. And I just, even in your hardest days, keep going, going. Because we got to be there for them. We got to take care of ourselves to be there for them.
This was, oh my goodness. I'm lost of words, Damon. What a blessing. What an honor. What a privilege. What a gift to just be in this conversation. So Stacey, everybody on the in our crowd here, I want to just give a huge, warm, extended thank you. And how about we give Stacey a huge round of applause?
Hey,
absolutely crushing it today.
Yeah,
Damon, to all the people that showed up. Yeah, you bet. Keep showing up.
Hey, Damon, like you say, everybody that drops comments, we appreciate you. Anybody that didn't drop a comment, we appreciate it. If you're catching this on a replay, man, go back and hit the rewind. There was so much gold. Damon, your takeaways, anything that you want to
just thanks so much, Stacey, for being with us today and all you do helping manufacturers.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Stacey, and thank you for having me.
I have one last question for Damon. I have one last question for her.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Stacey, are you a baseball fan by any chance?
Okay, well, no. no, I'm not. I'm not a big sports fan, but I know the game.
There we go.
Bring it on. Bring it on.
Okay. You know what, Damon? I might just cut this short for the
Is this the walk-up song?
What's your walk-up song, Stacey Curry?
So I have thought about that because our beautiful friend Jacqueline told me that you were going to do that. Okay, this isn't a walk-up song, but oh my gosh, it's so perfect for what we talked about today. Lenny Kravitz has a great song right now called Human. And it's a very simple song, not a walk-up song, but man, is it beautiful. It's about living your truth. And that to me, I want to work with the clients, the manufacturers that want to live their truth, right? And it's so beautiful. And I want to work with people that want to help others live their truth. So go check out that song by Lenny Kravitz. Simple song, but so powerful and so beautiful. And I just love it. I think it's a beautiful, heck yeah, it's my walk-up song. I'll embrace it.
There you go.
Let's live our truths.
Girl, hey, I guess I'll give a big thank you to Jacqueline for spoiling our.
Yes, she did.
Yeah, that's hysterical. I love that.
I asked her.
That is so. Hey, lots of love to Jacqueline. That's absolutely hysterical.
Prestige.
One more comment here. Timothy says you can replace manufacturers. So anyone running a business producing something. All great.
Thanks, Timothy.
Yeah,
it's resonating.
Absolutely.
Timothy, thank you, my friend. Stacey, we will wrap up. And hey, for the record, to show my age, I saw Lenny Kravitz, I think like a long time ago. So anyway, that was a great choice there.
Yeah.
Yes.
As probably, Damon, it was the 80s. I think it was back in the 80s. I saw Lenny Kravitz. Okay, so all right, let's go here. We're going to wind down. Stacey, thank you. Just send you tons of positive vibes. Deepest gratitude to you. Appreciate you more than you can imagine. This was just such a blessing for everybody in the crowd, Damon, myself. Yeah. Guys, like we love to say, just go out and be someone's inspiration, just like this amazing, incredible person Stacey Curry was for all of us today. We're going to be back here Friday with another. We have a manufacturer we have a manufacturer on the show coming at us this Friday in the great state of Michigan. One of your neighbors there, Stacey. So, Stacey, hang out with us for a minute. Well, one state over, but hang out with us for 1 second. We're going to close it out. Guys, have a great rest of your week. We appreciate you. God bless, and we'll see you on Friday.
Yeah. Thank you for hosting. Bye, everyone.
Peace.